Got a loaded show, and it's pretty much all around Alvin Kamara, but we're going to start with this. An injury update around AK-41 as Nick Underhill of NOF Network. He reports that Alvin Kamara is, quote, truly day to day. Now, we're going to get into what Dennis Allen had to say and get his updates around the running back and whether or not he will play this week. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about this pretty interesting salary cap update coming in from Field Yates. So he tweeted out that the Saints work to get under the cap in 2024. The early work has begun as the team recently converted $13.79 million of Marshawn Lattimore's $15 million salary or base salary into an option bonus, creating an $11 million cap space maneuver. More work ahead, and they've begun chipping away. Currently, the New Orleans Saints are about $75 million over the cap hit, but you still have players like Derek Carr, Demario Davis, Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara. These are all guys who can get restructured contracts to be able to get under that March deadline to be under the cap. So I'm not really worried about it. But interesting enough, Marshawn Lattimore, he has a new salary not a new salary, but they converted his salary to allow more cap space. But guys, this is why you subscribe. Don't you dare miss out on a thing. We talk about injury updates. We talk about news. We talk about rumors, draft stuff, free agency. We go live on game days. We're going to go live throughout the offseason. And there's a reason we have over 25,000 subscribers. So join our family, lock us in, and turn on your notifications right now. All right, so here's what Saints head coach Dennis Allen had to say on the Saints running back. He said, so he sprained his ankle. I think it was on their sideline before the half. It came during that play when I believe it was Antoine Winfield Jr. grabbed his ankle and was trying to pull him back, and it kind of looked like a weird play, and I even thought during the watch party, I was like, wow, that might actually hurt him a little bit. It was in the first half. Obviously, we didn't see Kamara play in the second half. Continue to say, kind of came in, got it looked at, came out after the half to try and test it out, and didn't look like he was going to be functional enough to help us win. I don't know whether it's a high ankle sprain. I haven't gotten all the details as to what it is. But if Alvin Kamara cannot go, expect Jamal Williams to get a lot of run. Kendre Miller, hopefully he can be ready to go. He's been dealing with an injury over the past few weeks, and really this whole season he's been kind of banged up. But in terms of other options, you also have James Robinson and Jordan Mims on the practice squad. And as for those two running backs who will get the run if Kamara cannot go against the Falcons, here's the production that both of these two cats have been doing. Jamal Williams, I was really, really excited when the Saints signed him. I still think he can be a big-time contributor next season to this team, so I hope that they bring him back, and I hope they keep him around because he is on a 3-year contract, I believe, 3-year contract. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's going to be around. Hopefully they don't trade him, and hopefully they use him correctly next year. Kendre Miller, his production clearly limited. He hasn't played a ton, and he's been buried on the depth chart behind Kamara and Jamal Williams. He's shown a lot of pop. He's shown some really big flashes. I want to see him utilized better next year when he's healthy. Hopefully, fingers crossed there. But here's how the Saints offense has been looking when they go marching. When they're on the ground, when they're running the ball, the rush play percentage, they're running the ball 42% of the time, which is good for 17th in the NFL. Yards per rush, 3.6. That's second to last in the NFL. That's not good. Partially, that's has something to do with the offensive line and how bad they've been this year. The rushes per game, 27.8. So you're number 10 in attempts per game. You run the ball almost just under 50%, but you have 3.6 yards per carry. That's not ideal. That's not good. That's not what we want to be seeing. You have rushing yards per game under 100, which is 21st in the NFL, and rushing touchdowns per game. It's been bad. Number 18th in the NFL, not even good for one touchdown a game. But here's the thing. This is do or die. The New Orleans Saints need Alvin Kamara. You saw the numbers. You saw what Jamal Williams and Kendre Miller are capable of, and we've seen the production from them. But the New Orleans Saints need 41 on the field if they want to keep their playoff chances alive going into Week 18. They need some help, of course, but Alvin Kamara is a big-time X factor for that Saints offense. And when you look at his production over the year, he has over 1,000 yards again. I mean, what more do you – he's doing a lot of really good things. Again, remember, he had missed a few games earlier in the season because of that suspension, so a little bit of a skewed sample size. We haven't really gotten to see a full season with AK this year. Clearly, that would have been helpful in the beginning of the season, but Saints went 2-0 without him, so, not too mad missing him because you played against some bad teams early in the season. but he has found this end zone 6 times, 5 times on the ground, 1 through the air. And I just love Alvin Kamara. And here's the thing. I want to send some good vibes to number 41. Let's send him some positive vibes. Send him some well wishes. Type his jersey number 41 in the comment section so that way we can try and send AK some positive vibes, some positive thoughts, and hopefully he can play and go against the Falcons on Week 18. All right. Next things next, let's talk about the trade rumor. Probably the reason you clicked on this video, to be quite honest. So Alvin Kamara was listed in an article published by NBC Sports Chicago, and they listed 6 surprise NFL players who could be traded during the 2024 NFL offseason. And I'm going to tell you what they had to say. I'm going to give you my analysis, a little preview. I think that it's the dumbest thing in the world for the Saints to trade Alvin Kamara, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to today's presenting sponsor. It is Game Time. It's last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed, and I absolutely love this ticketing app. It's my favorite ticketing app to use whenever I'm trying to go to any of my favorite live events. I love going to concerts. I love going to sporting events. I love going to comedy shows. And here's the thing, Game Time makes all that possible. Just this past year, I was able to get floor-level tickets to Zach Bryan, which is awesome. Had a great time, built some great memories. I also got to go get club-level seats at the Cowboys Stadium for Arkansas versus A&M. But if you want to go see some live events in New Orleans, here you go. You can go check out the Fairgrounds. They have live events. They also have Jazz Fest coming up here this spring, so you can get tickets there. And then on top of that, if you don't want to go to one of those and you're a Pels fan, go get you some tickets to a Pels fan. You can see right here they have flash deals randomly all the time. You can get into a Pels game for this Jazz versus Pelicans game for $2. Come on. Go hit up Smoothie King Arena for $2 and go get yourself a beer that is going to be more than your ticket, which would be pretty cool. So go use our promo code SaintsChat at the Game Time app. Terms apply. Create an account and redeem code SAINTSCHAT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. It's last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All of that information in the comment section and description of this video because I love you. So here is that NBC Sports Chicago article from Logan Reardon. He said for the Alvin Kamara trade, this one is simple. The Saints need to create cap space, and moving on from Kamara is an easy way to get it. New Orleans could opt to cut the former Pro Bowler, but it's worth exploring a trade before releasing him. Kamara has an $18.877 million cap hit for 2024 if he's on the Saints roster, which doesn't make sense for a soon-to-be 29-year-old running back. And then whenever he wrote part of the article suggesting where he could go, a possible landing spot, he said the Denver Broncos, which would pair Kamara with his former head coach, Sean Payton. Kamara had his best seasons in Payton's offense from 2017 to 2021. While Kamara's prime years might be over, Payton has shown an affinity for bringing in his former players to Denver. Will Lutz, Adam Troutman, Lil Jordan Humphrey are a few examples of that. So here's the thing, Logan. It's actually not that simple because even if you do trade him, you're actually not saving $18+ million. I don't want to call it lazy writing, but I want to just say, do your research. Don't look just clearly at the numbers. Like, you got to know what we're doing here. So let's talk about the cap hit. And this is if you trade Alvin Kamara pre-June 1st. The next graphic will be if you trade him post-June 1st. So keep that in mind. This isn't cut. This is a trade because that is what Logan suggested. So in 2024, you do have that $18+ million cap hit. However, if you trade him, you have $17.2 million in dead money, $1.7 million in cap savings. To me, that means absolutely not. This will not happen. It's an absolutely idiotic reason to trade him if you're going to try and save some money. But here's the thing. You're only saving $1.7 million next year. In 2025, you have a $10.1 million in dead money, $18.9 million in cap savings. Makes it a little bit easier there. But in 2026, $6.1 million in dead money, $0 in cap savings, 2027. He has a cap hit but has some dead money left over. But let's look at if you trade him in post-June 1. If he's after the draft, if he's one of these guys that towards the end or right before the season, he ended up getting traded. Again, $18.8 million cap hit in 2024. You do actually have $7 million in dead money and $11.8 million in cap savings in 2024. So, like, in terms of you could save some money, yes, but you're not saving that full $18+ million, especially in 2024. But there is the argument, but Trace, we only have 6 draft picks. We're only eligible for a few compensation picks. But here's the thing. The NFL draft is in April. It's April 25th through the 27th. So if you trade him and you want to save money, that would be post-draft, post the draft, meaning you don't get picks for the 2024 draft. You have all of your picks except for your 7th round next year. So that's my argument. Why would you trade him to get draft picks and save money, but that doesn't really add up? You see what I'm saying? Alvin Kamara, let me tell you this. He is going to be in New Orleans next season. He will be in New Orleans as long as he wants to be and as long as the front office wants to keep him around. He's a fan favorite. Everyone loves him. He brings an absolute lifeblood he is the absolute lifeblood to the Saints offense. And without Alvin Kamara, this team is very still, lacks a lot of leadership and lacks a lot of, I don't want to say pizzazz, but they'll add a lot of pop and a lot of just umph, if you know what I'm saying. So Alvin Kamara also wants to be a Saint for life. That's the other part of this. He doesn't want to go to another team. He says, I want a lifetime contract. This was what he said after Cam Jordan got his extension to make him a Saint for life. He said, I want to be here forever. I think y'all, as in the media and the fans, need to put some pressure on Mickey Loomis. How y'all did for Cam Jordan when he said that. Like I said, I love it here. There's a lot of support here. And my idea on this, it's like, oh no, let's tank and let's just get rid of them, trade away assets. It'll be okay. We'll start over, start fresh. Absolutely the hell not. Tanking is lazy. It is an absolutely lazy and coward's way of trying to fix issues that at the end of the day, you make a few good draft picks, make 1 or 2 good hires, and they're all resolved. You can fix a lot of the problems that the Saints have. Pretty much any team can fix a lot of the problems that they have while still winning. Look at teams like the Lions, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Browns. They haven't been good my entire lifetime of 25 years. Now they're finally okay, and they're finally relevant, and they're finally like a good team. It took 25 years for me to see those teams be at all worth a damn. Why would you want to put yourself in that constant cycle of 3 or 4 wins, missing on draft picks, trading picks away, trading to get more? Like, that is the dumbest and laziest way to try and fix problems. It's running away from them, and it's stupid, and tanking doesn't work. So, guys, if you want to make Mickey Loomis hear us, I need you to get loud in the comments section. Make Mickey hear us. If you want Alvin Kamara to be a Saint for life, give me a hoot at in the comments section. Get loud, get proud, and let's keep AK-41 in the black and gold for the rest of his career. All right, I'm going to end with this. Just warning. Going into this offseason, Alvin Kamara is going to be the focus of a lot of trade rumors. A lot of teams are going to say the Saints are in cap hell. They're not going to be able to get hit. They're not going to be able to get out of the cap. They got to trade away assets. They could be tanking. No. Ignore that buzz. Ignore that nonsense. Whenever we see that nonsense, we're going to talk about it here so we can call them out and say you're wrong for these reasons. But ignore it. Alvin Kamara isn't going anywhere. I truly do think that he's going to be in New Orleans next season. If he does get traded, of course, we'll break it down. We'll go live. We'll talk about it. But Alvin Kamara is going to be a New Orleans Saint. Ignore the obnoxious buzz. Ignore the other fans who want Alvin Kamara. And just understand, he is a New Orleans Saint as long as he wants to be and as long as his team wants him around. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.